On the bottom of your ticket, there will be either a court date to be set, or you'll actually be given right on the ticket a date to appear and a time. Do not miss that court date. If you fail to appear, your license will be, wait for it, suspended. Hi, I'm Central Florida Attorney Dione Talkington-Fletcher, and today I will be answering questions about driver's licenses. You need 3 things to drive in Florida. Number 1, a valid driver's license. And no, you can't drive in Florida on a license that's suspended in another state. 2, you need a current tag and registration. And 3, you need car insurance. Not just any car insurance. You need a minimum of $10,000 worth of PIP, which stands for Personal Injury Protection, and $10,000 worth of property damage liability. Of course, you can always buy higher coverages, but that is the bare minimum. If you don't have all 3, you may not legally drive in the state of Florida. 2 out of 3 isn't good enough. You must have all 3. Now, bear in mind that Uber, Lyft, even taxi, certainly bus and bicycle are cheaper than a ticket. To reduce the risk of a ticket, you want to avoid being stopped in the first place. So, number 1, Florida requires the wearing of seat belts and not being on a cell phone, or rather, not hand-holding a cell phone. You can be on the phone as long as the sound is coming through the car speakers. You may not hold the cell phone unless you're using it strictly for navigation, and if you're a commercial driver, you may not hold it at all. And you shouldn't even use the phone for navigation if you're a commercial driver. It should be equipped in your vehicle in some fashion. Number 2, your license plate should be readable. That means there's no surround on it, or there's not so much dirt on it that it can't be read. Headlights, taillights, and the little light bulb by the license plate all need to work. If you have obvious mechanical defects in the vehicle or safety issues, you can expect to be stopped. Number 3, Florida does not permit that Texas rolling stop. You must come to a complete stop at every stop sign. And lastly, avoid weaving in and out of lanes. If you cause other drivers to hit their brakes or take evasive action, you can expect to be stopped. In addition to the cost of the vehicle itself, the payment, the insurance, oil changes, gas, you get to pay tolls if you live in the right parts of Florida. So here's how tolls work. You can either drive around with a cup holder or a roll of quarters to use at the toll booths, or you can set up with one of those little e-readers that will automatically be deducted from a credit card or a checking account, or you can drive through and do none of those things and you'll get a bill in the mail called pay by plate. It's more expensive to pay by plate, but it's still possible. Here's the kicker. If you don't pay in one of those 3 ways, your license will be suspended. And then every time you drive through another toll booth without having paid that, you'll get a ticket, and ultimately each toll will be $100. So if you can't afford to drive on toll roads, don't go on them. Please consult with an attorney prior to entering any plea in court. This is especially important if you are not a United States citizen, because even a criminal traffic adjudication of guilt can result in deportation. It's also important if you have a pending motion to seal or expunge a criminal arrest. An adjudication of guilt on a criminal traffic ticket could also make you ineligible. So please don't just show up in court, hey, I got an offer, I don't ever have to come back, pay the ticket, and get on your way. These could have lifelong consequences. If you can't afford an attorney, there are public defenders at every single arraignment, and they can answer questions that you might have. Second, on the bottom of your ticket, there will be either a court date to be set, or you'll actually be given right on the ticket a date to appear and a time. Do not miss that court date. If you fail to appear, your license will be, wait for it, suspended for failure to appear. And that's if it's a civil traffic infraction. If it's a criminal traffic infraction, you could wind up with a capias for your arrest for missing court. So make sure that the address on your driver's license is updated, or make sure that you provide your current address to the clerk of court so you don't miss that court date. Lastly, even if you have a ticket, what you want to avoid is getting suspended, because in Florida, the third driving on a suspended license can actually be charged as a felony, resulting in someone being labeled an habitual traffic offender with a 5-year, that's 5-year driver's license suspension and jail time. Once your license is suspended, it is a time-consuming process to get it back, and you may need the assistance of a lawyer. The most important thing is to drive safely and arrive alive. Thank you to everyone who submitted questions for me to answer. I appreciate your interest.